Good afternoon, WEEX community. Welcome to another edition of WEEX Academy, or Academia WEEX, as we like it calling here. Today we have a special episode for you. I am super excited to be joined by Joe Venner, the founder of Apello. If you have been following our recent events, you already know that Apello is currently a proud partner and sponsor of our WEEX AI Trading Hackathon. Apello is doing some incredible work in the Web3 space. They are building the ultimate community toolkit that connects on-chain ownership with social access. Basically, if you have ever suffered trying to manage a Discord server, verify wallets, and keep out bots, Joe and his team are the ones automating all of that friction away so projects can actually grow. We're going to talk about his journey, the reality of community management today, and the shared vision between Apello and WITS. Hi, Joe. It's a pleasure to have you here at WITS Academy. Thank you so much for joining us today. So, just to keep things off and get warmed up, I would love for you to introduce yourself to the WITS community. Tell me, Joe, what is your background and how exactly did you fall down the Web3 rabbit hole in the first place?
Hello, this is Joe. I'm from the Apello team. I'm the founder of Apello, and I'm very glad to be one of the Weeks partners. You guys are doing an amazing job, especially in the current market conditions. It's not really easy to keep pushing in the current market. So that proves that you guys are a solid team, and you have good vision, and that's something that motivates us to keep building and helping teams like you. Let me start with a quick introduction about myself. So I'm an ex data engineer, senior data engineer. Currently, I'm an AI architect. I'm working with some major IT consulting companies across the globe. How I found myself in the Web3 communities and working with some domination, especially the community management toolkit in an NFT toolkit in the Cosmos especially. So it was first of all I think my first ecosystem was Solana, so I discovered Solana via a friend. I was trading already tokens before, so I was a bit early to crypto. But when I really joined communities and started joining discords and learning about projects and stuff, so it was I guess in 2020. So it was I heard it from a friend. So he was a colleague in a lunch break where he showed me his NFTs and stuff, and I was like, "Wow, curious!" I was mainly interested in the technology and stuff, so I started looking how the NFT marketplaces works and stuff. But yeah, I was already trading cryptos before, so I think I joined crypto in 2018. But I was only buying and selling, so I was not even longing and shorting. So I was only buying, holding, and selling. So it was only the major well-known tokens. I had Solana in my wallet, but I never joined really the ecosystem. So as I said, so it was through this friend who showed me NFTs, communities, discords, those game nights, events, and stuff. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. Especially I was interested in how marketplaces works and all of this because I was already in the tech field. Then I joined my first community. I bought my first NFT. It was an ape-based NFT. I remember it was not the board apes, but some derivatives. I really remember the collection and the NFT. Then I started joining communities, trying to provide support because I'm a tech guy. I saw that there was a lot of missing parts, especially in community management. So I was helping every community I join, so I provide for them support, like I create custom whitelist check tools, investigating tools, test trackers, indexing tools and stuff. So I found myself creating a lot of tools for a lot of communities, and I kept it. it gave me some privileges like getting some premium white lists and stuff like this, joining some private groups, being in advising some big projects and stuff. But then from Solana, I via another friend, so I discovered Terra. So Terra actually it was my first love. So it was a token that I really loved. So actually, I was in love with the Luna community, the Terra community. So yeah, I loved the NFT communities in there. So I started really building and doing my max. So I was a max digging in there. So I was working day and night trying to help every communities, and I was a bit so. In no time, I was a bit popular in the community. So everyone know Joe Venner if they need help, if they need a custom tool, if they need a utility, if they need advice on some tools or how to set up communities, some Discord techniques, Telegram groups, security stuff. So I was helping with everything that is technical. Then some people they said, look, I was in no time I had in my server more than hundred of apps running for different projects. So but they are all custom, so I build them. Each app it's customized for a project. And one guy I remember, so his name was Pepe. I remember him. He's a very good guy. He told me, why don't you work it? Why don't you work on a solution that can be a brand? You already have you are already a bit popular. People they know you, they trust you. So why don't you work on a project that can actually grow all of this? It can give you more exposure, and you can expand fast than just building this kind of tools, the kinds of custom tools for each project. So I thought of it, and then I started Apello, and in no time we were dominating Terra. Then after the Terra crash, we really lost a lot of assets. It was a depression. It was a bad depression for me because I lost a very big capital because I was all in Luna. Especially after the crash, I put more of my savings in Terra because I was believing in it. So I was really in love with Terra. So you can tell. Yeah, after the crash, I was in a depression for I would say a month or more. Then we went back to work and we recovered all. We started with Terra 2 and we started expanding to all the other chains. Then we found ourselves with more than 100k of users. We supporting more than 2,000 projects and with handling thousands of verification a day. So yeah, that's basically a quick introduction about Apello. Yeah, but it has really a lot of story behind, a lot of hard work, a lot of no sleep. But briefly, that's it. If I want to briefly describe Apello, so I will say that Apello is a tool that help community managers or community owners or project owners to first manage their communities, secure the community, and indirectly grow the community. So you have more control over your community. You can put rules to control the community. We have tools that help you engage your community, give them access to the content that they deserve, like token gating. We have sales tracking, we have indexing tools, whitelist management, games, and a lot of other utilities. But mainly briefly, so this is Apello. So it's a toolkit. So it's a set of tools that helps community owners, so project owners, manage their communities. So that's basically. But if we can go in detail, the Apello is super flexible. You can for users, it's super easy to use, super easy to set up. It's super safe. We don't ask you to sign any transactions. Our team is available 24/7 for setup. We we build Apello in a way it's flexible, unlimited, and bug proof. So you barely see Apello in a downtime, or we announce that we have a major bug that needs fixed that will block the verification. Apello is a 3 years old project, and we we barely stopped our production for more than few hours. So it's, and you can tell that we are supporting 9 chains, and you can tell that the upgrades that they have, and we each time we need to update our infra and everything. But because of the senior people that we have and the way our infra is built, we made it easy to upgrade, to onboard new chains, to onboard new projects, and it's self-explanatory. We have all the tools that can tell you if you have any problems, permission problems, security problems. So it can analyze your server. It can give you really a lot of insights.
Great, I love that. I'm always fascinated by origin stories. I know Apple was built to eliminate friction in the centralized community, but was there a specific aha moment for you, like maybe a personal nightmare trying to manage a Discord server or watching another project just completely struggle that made you go, okay, that's it. I need to build a tool to fix this mess.
Yeah, actually, I think I answered this question. Why I thought of this? What was the trigger to build Apello? Actually, as I told you, it was. So I was well known in the community for the tech guy who can build tools, who can build. I was specially called the boat father because I can't build any boat. So if you need boats, and especially in the Web3, so bots are doing a lot of work. So they are running games, managing communities, securing communities, help engaging the community, which is the most important part of community in Web3. And Apello can help you do all of this. And as I told you, Joe was the main contact if you need to build any custom tools that they are not on the market, that they are tailored to your needs. And I found myself in no time running tons of tools, tons of bots in my server. I had more than hundreds of them, and they are almost similar. So then that was the trigger. Why don't we build a product that can be a brand, that can be scalable, that will that will cost us less resources, but it can be scaled to cover more than what we have now, more than hundreds of projects, so we can target thousands of projects. So that was the idea behind Apello. And yeah, so, and it really did what we expected.
I see. And how did that initial building phase actually look? Did it start out as just a quick side project to help some friends, or did you know from day one that you were building a comprehensive infrastructure suite for Web3 communities?
It's very hard to say that you are building something that you already know that will work. Because as you know, I'm not a big company. I don't have a big budget. I cannot run marketing. But what we had is skills. So we have some senior people, some senior engineers and developers, and system architects. So we are already familiar with building good products, and we have a good knowledge of community management. So that was the mix that really helped us build something that is useful, that we what we did is we always tackle the problems that we see in the similar products. So some people they have solutions, but they are super complicated to set up. And we know that most of the community projects they are not tech savvy, they are not too technical. So if they want to onboard the tool, they don't want to cause problems more than solving them. So they don't want a tool that will be added to the community, but it's not working. It will cause them a lot of headache. So what they want, with just few clicks, they have the tool up and running, and they don't need to keep maintaining it, or just looking for support each time. So that was one of the things that made Apello popular, and it really dominated on every chain we launched on. I remember, like, it was funny, but I remember, like, more than 2 times, we announced that we are adding support for the chain X, and few days after, we didn't even start reaching out to people. Projects on that chain, they are already sunsetting. They say that, I think that we will, because it was already project that was by other communities, like let's say we have an NFT community and it's running as a utility, this token gating or sales tracking things or whitelist management. But the moment they hear that we are onboarding on that chain, they know that it's over for them, so they cannot compete. Apello was really solid and strong infrastructure. So yeah, that was one of the things that triggered people, and we have good support. But we really did a lot of reaching to people, and we had this. So we were a bit known for providing support to people. We were so kind. We were there. So in the launch, in the first time, you gotta give it your max. I was working sometimes. I can tell you 16 hours, 18 hours a day. So that was normal for me. I was I was on every Discord. Like people, I remember sometimes people be telling me, "Come on, bro, are you a bot or something?" Because I see you everywhere. I see you active everywhere. How can you do this? They even thought I am a bot myself because I'm building a lot of bots. But yeah, it was fun. It was good. I love it. So it's really cool to build something that you own, and especially if something that helps community is really amazing. Yeah, so that was the motivation behind it.
For someone who isn't in the trench managing a community every single day, could you paint a picture of what a community manager's life looks like without Apello versus with Apello? Like, what is the biggest headache you guys are curing?
Actually, that's an amazing question. I never had this question before. Like I was in many podcasts before, or spaces, X spaces, but I never heard this kind of question. If you can picture what's a community manager's life with and without Apello. Whoa, that's a wonderful question. Actually, even like 3 years after 3 years, I never heard this question, but I love it. Um, so I can tell that without Apello, a community manager was really first tired with having different tools doing different things. So to set up your community before Apello, so you really need to invite, like I can tell now, if you want just the basic utilities, the basic must to have utilities, you gotta invite like 5 tools. And I can guarantee to you, if you are already, if you did this before, you will agree with me. But some of them are nightmares. Like some of them are really nightmares. They spam your community with DMs. It needs a lot of manual configuration and stuff, so it's nightmare. But with Apello, after Apello, so if you are setting a new server, you invite one tool that can do everything for you. Not only this, but if you have also specific needs, custom needs, you will talk, you can talk to us and we will onboard it in the tool. Like let's say we have a custom stacking platform, and people, they have their token there or their NFTs there, so it's a custom stacking contract. But our Apello solution is built in a way that we can add unlimited resources and unlimited functions to it, so it can give you always the correct action. It can always perform the correct actions, and it will never impact your community. So you can just reach to us, and in no time you will see our team fixing, adding that kind of feature that you are looking for. That was one of the powerful things, and people loved this one because with the classic tools, so you don't even know who to reach to. But if we add you, we have a server that we are monitoring 24/7. You can just open a ticket. It's all documented. We have a very detailed documentation. So you open a ticket on our server. We will check it with you till we fix the problem, and you will be a happy manager after that. So yeah, that's basically it.
One of the core features, obviously, is linking on chain ownership like NFT or tokens with social access, like Discord roles. There are a few tools out there doing token gating. So, what makes Apello's approach different or smoother? And I also saw you guys emphasize a privacy first approach, which is huge right now. How do you actually maintain that privacy while verifying wallets?
Somehow I answered this question, the sixth question, in different in the my answers before. So what I can tell you is, yeah, actually, we had some major, actually I can call you some major tools. Okay, so there are some major tools, and there are also tools that they are medium sized projects, but we have some major well backed projects. But Apello is was already dominating. Why? Because as I told you, Apello was the vision of Apello was not just to provide one utility and dominate on that utility only. No, Apello's mission was to streamline the community management. So anything that can help some community manager manage and make his life easier, we will add it there. But we add it in a way that we always take into account that the guy who's gonna add Apello is a non-tech savvy. So he's an operation manager, he's a finance guy, so he's not tech savvy. So we need to make it easy for him. So that was I guess the thing that made Apello super popular, because you can add it yourself. You don't even need us to interact with you or approve you or whatever. You add it, it's unlimited. Actually, if I go through the technical features, that those are, I'll need hours to list them, but I'm just talking briefly with a brief overview. But we have a superpower that is hidden in how Apello technically works, with how we are indexing. If you go, we have some live demos. If you can't go, Apello is handling. Our architecture is super advanced that can handle more than, I'm talking about one user who has more than 20 wallets with a server that has more than 30 rules, and Apello the total combination of checks is more than 100, and the replay was in 1 second and a half. So this is something that doesn't exist in any of the other tools. It requires a super advanced infrastructure, calculations, and I don't want to go through the technical part, but it was already discussed before in my spaces. So yeah, the infrastructure is solid. Plus, it's anyone can use it. So that's I guess one of the things that made Apello popular, and we are available. So I live in Discord, so I remember some days I live in Discord. So yeah, plus my team for sure. So that was one of the things that made people always reach out to us for support, for custom tools, and they prefer Apello over the other competition.
So, Joe, getting people in the door smoothly is one thing, but Apello is framed as a full community toolkit. Once the users are actually inside, what other tools do you offer to keep the engagement and real-time activity going? Is there a specific feature that founders are usually surprised by when they first start using the platform?
Yes, actually. So Apello, as I said, so Apello is not only a token gating solution, but if I can tell you which is the most popular solution that we have, is our Apello token gating. So token gating is something that, and why I can tell you that is the most popular, because it's the most popular tool in all the communities. So there is nothing most important than token gating, because when you know your community, because token gating allows you what to give special perks to your holders. You can identify them, and when you give them special perks and they start flexing them, what the other community trying to do is trying to join the special community. So they are buying your token or buying your NFT or delegating to you if you are a validator, because token gating is not just for NFTs. It can be for meme projects, meme coin projects, for validators, for DAOs, people to join your DAO. We had a lot of rules for token gating actually. And the non-holders people, the people that they are not holding there, they see they getting jealous. They see that other people are getting perks. They want to join. What they do is they buy your product, they buy your token, your NFT. They join the DAO, delegate to you to get those special perks. So you indirectly you are getting more engagement. You're making people happy. You're driving the value of your project. So this basic tool, it has a big value to the community. And I will tell you something that was as Apello. So actually we contributed to driving tons of projects and in the launch of Love project. Why? Because as you can see, so in this Web3, and this is a classic move for marketing and bringing your initial community, your core community. So what you do if you are launching a project, so you are doing a collaboration with blue chip projects. Let's say I have a product X, and I want to launch it. What I do is I whitelist few popular projects to get their core community joining my community. So what I tell them is I will whitelist all the people from Bored Apes holders, from this bad kids, from mad scientists, etc. So these are some projects. When I whitelist them, they need to join my server to get the whitelist. So both projects are winning. The first project, so because they are whitelisted for this big launch, people they will go and buy their token to get the whitelist on the other projects, and the other project is getting revalue, which is the community, because they cannot launch a project without community. So we actually helped a lot of Celestia, and I can name a lot of projects. They built their initial community using Apello. And I believe this is a wow feature. This is a must-to-have feature. We have like the anti-bots verification, we have the whitelist management, we have the debugging tool, we have the sales indexing trackers. One of the other features that we gave to Web3 users is, and because it was one of the problems that I face, is let's say you want to join a new blockchain, a new chain, okay? But no, you want to join a chain, but you don't have an idea if it's a dead chain, if it's an active chain, because we had this problem a lot, not in the early days, but especially in the 2023, 2024, we had some chains that they are dying, so they are losing volume. So you don't want to buy, because you don't have knowledge, so you don't want to buy or ape in projects that they are in a dead chain. That's a no-go for me. How can you identify this? Is using Apello. We have some advanced dashboards that you can go in there and you can compare volumes. Let's say you know that this chain X is doing good. You were in a chain, let's say Osmosis, and you want to ape on another chain Injective, but you are not really sure if it's really doing well, if it has volume, it has community. Through Apello, you can see this real time. We are tracking the volume real time, sales, interactions, user, how many users. So this gives you an idea. If they have volume there, that means you can ape in. You can already see the projects that they are doing well. You can get direct link to the platforms and etc. So yeah, that was one of the cool features that we give after they get Apello. We discovered that we have a lot of features. Lately, we have an AI assistant that can do the setup, debugging, help you set up your community, so all the natural conversations.
Switching gears a bit, um, since you guys partnered up and sponsored the WITS AI Trading Hackathon, it's a super interesting crossover. Um, since Apello isn't directly trading infrastructure, how do you view the connection between having a rock solid community and the boom we are seeing in AI driving projects? Why was it important for Apello to be part of that specific event?
Yeah, actually, yeah, I love it. So actually, Apello is also it has a good AI vision, especially its core team founders. They are already in the AI field, so we are like, if you check my GitHub, I'm a maintainer of some popular projects. So I maintain some Google-based projects, the Google Workspace CLI, the OpenClaw, Page Index, which is a RAG system, and many more big popular projects. I'm contributing. I'm a big open sourcer. Um, so yeah, actually, why Apello can exist and why Apello can coexist with these projects, because Apello is is not competing with them or is not competing with AI projects, but it's helping AI projects. So it coexists with them, because what we do is we secure your community. So you are building the product, and you gotta have you need to have a community. What we do is we help you either bring that community. Once you bring it, we help you secure it and grow it and give it some perks. So that's the benefit of Apello. And later we have a vision which is powering real ERL events. Let's say you have a project and you want to give special perks to people that they are holding your projects or they have delegated to you tokens or whatever. So via ERL solutions, you can have this, you can scan people and authorize them to join a special room, a special dinner, perks like this, e-ticketing and stuff. So that's one of the visions that we have and we wanna work on.
Taking a step back for a second, community management in crypto has changed drastically since the last bull market. What is the biggest shift you are seeing right now, and how do several projects actually handle their communities? Are we finally moving past just grinding for whitelist spot to focusing on actual quality engagement?
Yeah, actually, no. Yeah, I totally agree. So this question is coming from experience. I can tell that you do have also an experience dealing with communities and similar stuff, especially managing projects. Yeah, so growing a community or managing a community or building a community back in 2018 or 2021, 2022, it's not the same as the few last year. So things changed, especially if I tell you the last year, it changed a lot, especially with what's happening with AI and stuff. It's really hard to now convince people to join your community if you are not really providing some useful AI based solutions. So now people the interest is shifting toward AI, and it's shifting fast, super fast. So the thing is to keep to keep to keep building and to keep trust of your community. So you gotta really adapt, and that's something that I love about Week. So it's you can see from this AI competition, it's something that is following the vision. Oh, that's my cat. So yeah, I don't know, maybe he wanna eat. Um, yeah. So yeah, it's not the same. So you cannot now get a community with basic promising like I will give you white layers. So that's outdated. So how can you promise them? How can you keep them? Is by really shaping products or technologies that they are adapted or matching the trend that we are now going that we are following now, which is AI agentic solutions. And I believe if you are focusing on this part, you will keep your project, your community on.
Joe, this has been an awesome chat. Just to wrap things up, what is next for Apello? Is there anything on the roadmap that you are personally really hype about that you can tease for us? Um, and of course, let people know where they can find you and start playing around with the platform.
Yeah, actually, our team is really now focusing on building an ERL event management toolkit, which will help people host events securely with a Web3 test where you can create your event, set the number of tickets. Those tickets they are Web3 based, so they are on chain, and we have two platforms. Is one for the host team for how to scan, verify the users to let them in. You can and for they can also have these tickets tradable. So let's say I bought the ticket, I can resell it for people. They can buy it from me. So it's all digital. You can mark them if tradable or not tradable. Also, these tickets the user can be verified later. They can keep the selling after the event deadline. Let's say you are promising all the holders a minus 10% on the next event, so people and the guaranteed whitelist to get a new ticket. So that gives value and also give you already an hype and engagement. So it's like those classic NFT collections, but especially for events and yeah, for ERL events. We can have it also for online events. We have a secure platform, so it's somehow an online spacing, but not everyone can join. So it's more of only people that they hold in that token who can join the platform and participate with the special perks. So that's something that I don't want to really deep dive in now. So yeah, it's uh, it's an alpha as we can say, but yeah, I will be happy to share this with Weeks. Other than this, our AI is more advanced. It's more agentic. It can perform now. It can perform now real actions, like it can take actions on the web. So you can ask it to do things for you. It can control your if you wanted to set up your whole server, your theme. If you are a Web3 project, a Web2 project, if you're an NFT project, you will set up it's based on the themes. You can talk about it and it can change everything for you. Also for Telegram, we are expanding to Telegram more. So this year the focus was on Telegram community. So we are providing a lot of Web3 on Telegram solutions. We have a wallet now on Telegram and we support more than new 9 tokens. We are also adding games on Telegram, token powered games. So it's like Rainbow Size because now games they are only limited to Discord communities, but now we are expanding to Telegram. Yeah, so that's basically it, and thank you so much, Weeks.
Amazing, Joe. Thank you so much again for taking the time to chat with us today and for sharing all these insights. And for everyone listening, make sure to check out apello.xyz. Apello, apello.xyz and see what they are building to make Web3 communities better for all of us. You can find all the links in the description. And of course, thank you to all the community for tuning to another episode of Wits Academy. Keep building, keep trading, and we will catch you on the next one. Muchas gracias. Hasta luego. Bye bye.